This is a progress photo of my client wearing the same jeans 6 months apart. But what's incredible is there were no extreme diets, no restrictions, no endless hours at the gym. So what made the difference? Two simple habits. Number one, eating until 80% full, no matter what she ate. Number two, portioning her carbs, no matter the type of carbs. By the way, I'm Vanessa. I'm a former Equinox personal trainer turned online fitness trainer and nutritionist. I've helped hundreds of clients lose weight without giving up the foods they love. Today, I'm sharing one of the easiest, most sustainable fat loss habits, eating until 80% full. By the end of this video, you'll learn why this works, what 80% full actually feels like, and most importantly, how to start using this in your own life because you can achieve great results without going to extremes. So let's dive in. So eating slowly until 80% full is a habit to avoid overeating, but why is it so important? If you look at societal norms, there's a very narrow definition of what's considered healthy eating, and it often excludes other cultures and lacks diversity. There's a lot of emphasis on foods that are popular for white, non-immigrant Americans, things like kale salads. But if you eat till 80% full, you can still practice eating healthy while you're eating hot pot, dim sum, Korean barbecue, burritos, dosa, samosas. You can still practice healthy eating while you're traveling in Japan or Mexico City, while you're at Sunday brunch with the girls. Because healthy eating can be a habit of listening to your hunger cues, knowing how full you are, and stopping to avoid overeating. Most people think they can't eat healthy when the circumstances aren't perfect, but that's not true at all, because healthy doesn't have to mean salads from sweet, green, or mixed. For example, you can't always control what you eat, like Brazilian barbecue at your work off-site, when you eat, like lunch at 3 p.m. because your meetings ran long, where you eat, like convenient fast food during your road trip, who you eat with, because we all have that one friend who always insists on getting a post-meal boba, ice cream, or pastry. So you can't always control what you eat, when you eat, where you eat, or who you eat with, but you can always control how you eat. You can always eat slowly until 80% full. Again, I really want to drive this point home. You can literally eat anything. Chinese food, Mexican food, Vietnamese food, Indian, Korean, Ethiopian, Italian food. You can literally eat anything and still be in control of your eating if you eat till 80% full. Also, physiologically, this helps you avoid overeating because it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for your gut to tell your brain that it's full. There's a delay from when your gut sends satiety signals to your brain that indicate you're getting full. And if you aren't aware of this delay, you'll overeat. Before we dive into some practical tips, if you're looking to build healthier habits, I created a free 5-day email course called Thrive in 5. It's a series of 5 daily email lessons on how to eat healthy consistently, work out effectively, and live a healthier lifestyle. Each lesson is packed with powerful insights and practical tips designed to help you thrive in your health. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description box to sign up and you'll receive the first email right away. So to lose fat, practice eating till 80% full. You'll avoid overeating because you'll be more aware of your hunger and fullness cues, which helps you eat less and digest better. So what exactly does 80% full feel like? 80% is that sweet spot when you feel satisfied and content. And to be clear, it's not necessarily about getting exactly to 80. So, no need to be like, am I 75? Am I 83? No need to be super nitpicky. The general concept is, are you satisfied and content? This is a good question to ask yourself, whether you're trying to lose fat or trying just to develop better eating habits. And to help you figure out whether you're satisfied and content at 80%, there are 3 questions I suggest you ask yourself. Number 1, have you waited at least 15 minutes? Because remember my point earlier, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for your gut to tell your brain that it's full. Number 2, do you feel like you have room for a few more bites, but you could probably do without it? Number 3, would you be able to take a walk right now without feeling heavy? If yes to all of these, you're likely around 80%. There's a really great organization called Precision Nutrition, which is where my nutrition coaching comes from, and they have a very helpful infographic that shows what 80% can feel like. I'll link it in the description box so you can check it out. Now, some practical tips to remember to eat slowly till 80% full. Pick a meal to eat without distractions. That means no TV, no phone, no screen, so you can really start to pay attention to your eating. I know that one's going to be hard, but just try it for one meal before you eat. Take a moment to really notice the portion you have in front of you. Set a timer for 15 minutes and aim to spend at least 15 minutes eating. During your eating, place your utensil down after each bite to slow down your eating, or take a sip of water between bites during your meal. After you're done, pause and give it about 10 to 20 minutes to listen to your fullness cues. You can push your plate away from you to avoid the temptation to eat more, or you can put your napkin over your plate as kind of a visual to stop eating. Now, you might be thinking, Vanessa, listening to my hunger and fullness cues is so foreign. I've only ever finished everything on my plate because my parents taught me not to waste food. First of all, I am the daughter of Chinese Vietnamese immigrants, so I also grew up having to finish everything on my plate. So I see you, I hear you. But let me assure you, you absolutely know how to listen to your hunger and fullness cues because humans are born with these innate cues. For example, when you were a wee little baby and your mama fed you milk as a newborn, you gave your mother cues to show that you were full after feeding. Because when a baby gets full, that baby will typically turn away from the mother or relax and open its fists. As you can see, fullness cues are something we're born with. They're in all of us. They're innate. But as we grow up, we lose sense of them because we start eating for reasons other than hunger. We start to eat with distractions. We stress eat, or we're taught to finish everything on our plate to not be wasteful. It happens to all of us. But now you have the opportunity to tap into your hunger and fullness cues again. And eating till 80% is one of the best ways to rediscover those cues. By the way, I want to give credit to where this practice originated, and this idea of 80% full comes from Confucian philosophies. In Japanese, the phrase is hara hachibu, which, according to my research, roughly translates to 8 out of 10, as in 80% of your stomach. So you can see where this idea of 80% full comes from. It originated in Okinawa, Japan, where they have low cases of conditions like heart disease and also high populations of centenarians, people who are more than 100 years old. So to recap, eating slowly till 80% full is one of the easiest fat loss habits to help you avoid overeating, and it's just a healthy habit in general to incorporate into your life. So today, during your next meal, I want you to practice eating till 80% full. And I use the word practice intentionally because eating till 80% full is a skill that you can develop. You're probably going to try it today and be like, I don't even know what 80% full is, but keep at it because all it takes is deliberate practice. You will get better at it and it will become a habit. And I think you'll be surprised how simple it is to incorporate into your life because remember, if you're trying to lose fat, you can achieve great results without going to extremes. Now, I mentioned earlier that there's a very narrow definition of what's considered healthy eating, and it often excludes other cultures and lacks diversity. There's a lot of emphasis on foods popular for white, non-immigrant Americans. If you are a person of color, if your parents are immigrants, if you didn't grow up eating salads, but you ate your cultural foods instead, I want you to watch this next video here, where I dive deeper into why we need to reframe healthy eating so it doesn't just mean kale salads. I really think what I'll share is key to helping you eat healthy consistently and stop feeling guilty when you eat your favorite cultural foods. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in this next video here.